TikTok's future is hanging in the balance in America because in the last hour, the House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bill that would give the Chinese owner about 6 months to divest the app's American assets or face a ban. TikTok is one of the world's most popular apps with more than 170 million users in the US alone. So let's head to Washington. Let's head to our North America correspondent, Nomi Iqbal, who's been watching it. Just start, because I know we've had the vote in the last hour, but just give us a flavour of the sorts of contributions before they voted, because American politics is riven with partisan politics, but here there is much more bipartisan agreement, isn't there?
There was, and it was all very civilised and polite when various lawmakers were making their arguments in the chamber. As you said there, it was passed by an overwhelming amount. It was Republican leaders that really fast-tracked this bill through. So just to give you the numbers, 352 to 65 voted for it to be banned. Of course, that's not the end of it, Matthew. The next step is for it to go through the Senate, where it'll probably face a much tougher passage if it will even get there. But President Biden has said if it does get to the Senate and is passed, he will sign it into law. But TikTok has really lobbied hard for this not to happen. It's mobilised its 170 million US users to really ring up their local representatives, telling them not to do this. And despite that, this has still gone through the House. There's also some confusion over here as well. President Biden wants it banned. He's already banned it for his federal employees from using it on their mobile phones. But his election campaign has started using TikTok and posting on it. Former President Donald Trump spearheaded the whole movement to ban TikTok. Recently, he flip-flopped on it, saying, well, actually, it's difficult to ban it. So I think there's a sense that they both know, obviously, we're now into the general election campaign season, that they're going to alienate lots of young voters, millions and millions of teenagers who use TikTok. But as I mentioned, this is not the end of it. The next step would be the Senate.
And Nomi, just explain what those lawmakers want to actually see happen.
They want to see the company that owns TikTok, ByteDance, to either sell up to somebody else or they will just ban it outright. They believe that it's a national security risk. They think, without any evidence so far, that the content on there is being passed over to the Chinese government. And that's based on a law in China where companies have to cooperate with the intelligence service. Now, TikTok has really pushed back at that. I was here when at the hearing for the CEO of TikTok. He was grilled by Congress last year about this, and he denied all of that. And so they're saying, look, we have this big firewall in place, which walls off any information from US users. And so all that information actually just remains in the US in servers here. But that's not convinced lawmakers, as we've seen today.
Nomi Iqbal there on Capitol Hill. Thanks very much for that. Thank you.